Hey, what's going on? Back again. Finish out the first round and go into the second round of the 2012 draft NBA. Um, just a recap for picks 21 through 30 right here. Then we opened it up with Boston at 21 and 22, taking Sullinger, and then Fab Melo. Uh, Two players that they could afford to take a kind of a chance on, I guess. Sullinger with his back issues. But even before the back issues came out in my mock draft, I had him at 20. So, I mean, I like Sullinger, but I just don't. I think with him is what you see is what you get. You're not gonna get much more potential out of him. I think he's pretty much reached his ceiling. And then I think with Fab Melo, they got him for the defensive purposes. Because if it ain't by the bucket, he ain't gonna make it. Uh, Pretty good player though, pretty athletic for a big guy. He's got potential, more potential than Sullinger to me. But especially with if he can learn under Kevin Garnett and take over after Garnett's gone. And then I think they did pretty good though. I think it's low risk, high reward type deal with them. Uh, they can afford to do it right now and go from there. Try to get young and healthy next year with Avery Bradley coming back, and hopefully they re-sign Ray Allen. And then you got those two coming in. I think they could be all right next year. Again, right, Eastern Conference Finals again. Then you had the Hawks at 23. They got another shooter in John Jenkins from Vanderbilt. Um, to go with Joe Johnson on the wings. He can spread the floor out a little bit. Good pickup, but pretty sure he's strictly for shooting. There ain't really much else, but pretty good. I like him. I think he's a decent player. Then you got number 24 with the Cavs picking for Dallas from the Zeller trade. And then they got Jared Cunningham. I don't really know much about him. Ain't really seen much besides videos of him over on the East Coast. We don't really get those games. And if we do, they're on at like 10 o'clock at night. And yeah. Uh, but supposedly he's pretty good. Scorer, what they say? They say he's a two guard, but he's got to go to a point guard probably. One coach compared him to Russell Westbrook, but we'll see what happens there. And then the Grizzlies taking Tony Roten Jr. from Washington at 25. Good pickup. I think he's definitely got potential to be an elite point guard in this league. He's young. He almost came to Louisville, man. I was excited, but then he ended up going to Washington. And if you watched him in college, you'll know why I wanted him here at Louisville. But now he's with the Grizzlies. Kind of give Mike Conley Jr. a backup. And he can also play, shoot the ball, take it to the basket. The Grizzlies, though, I'm going to be interested to see what the deal is with OJ Mayo, if they try to move him or keep him. But I like the Roten pick for them. And then you got the Pacers at number 26 taking Miles Plumlee from Duke. Yeah, don't know what to say about that, but just, I don't know what they were thinking. You have Perry Jones on the board, and you take Miles Plumlee. You have who else? You have Arnett Moultrie, even. Wow. And you take Miles Plumlee. No, he's be out of the league before you know it. No. And then you have Miami taking Arnett Moultrie next at 27, which I liked him for Miami. Be a good pickup. Move Bosh to center. Throw Moultrie in there at the power forward position. I think it would have been pretty good for them, but they ended up trading him in the second round to Where the Philly, yeah, the Philly. Um, but it's a good pickup either way for both of them. Philly had to get more athletic on the front court, which they did, getting Maurice Harkless and then trading and getting Arnett Moultrie. But Miami didn't really need much, but they needed a big guy, and I think with the shifting to Bosh, the center, could have helped them with Moultrie. But I mean, if you got LeBron James, you really don't need a power forward because he can play everything. They needed a center all year. Uh, Miami, they're just as good as it gets, basically. So uh, then you had the Thunder at 28 taking Perry Jones. This is a nice pickup, basically the steal of the draft, letting him slide down that far. I really thought the Heat were going to take Perry Jones at the pick before, but Perry Jones, you throw him next to Ibaka, backing up Ibaka, throwing with Durant and Westbrook. We all know Perry Jones, what he can do. I know we didn't live up to expectations at Baylor this year. They say he should have came out last year, but we know he's talented. It's a whole new ball game. He'll have more freedom for the Thunder playing his game, and I think that's definitely one of the best picks of the draft for the Thunder. They got better. I think we'll see them in the finals again next year. And then you had the Bulls at 29 taking Marcus Teague from Kentucky, which shouldn't have been a surprise. I seen some people was kind of upset they took Teague, but I mean, if Rose keeps getting injured like this, you need a backup point guard, you know. I've seen some people say they drafted him for the two guard. No, they drafted him to back up Rose and be there when Rose is out, because apparently they didn't think C.J. Watson, John Lucas cut the mustard for him. But Teague's a good player, a lot of potential. He got better throughout the year at Kentucky, and we all know, I guess because he thought he was a point guard for Kentucky, he would be one and done, like the past two have with Wall and Brandon Knight. But they definitely got a good one with Teague. I like the pick myself. Then you had the Warriors taking Festus Ezeli from Vanderbilt. Big guy in the middle. Don't really know a whole lot about him personally, but I know he can play the game pretty good. I've seen him a couple times. I liked him. He's got potential. I thought the Heat would have took him too, but I didn't expect Perry Jones. I had Ezeli going to the Heat in my mock. But that's definitely a good pick for the Warriors. Somebody to back up Bogut. Pretty good. But definitely, I think the pick right there, through those 10, the best pick was Perry Jones, because, I don't know, his knee issue, no. I think he's going to be able to prove a point, really, and I think he's going to prove it. As long as he can fit in with Durant and Westbrook and Harden, but who's to say Harden will be there? I really like him. Up to the draft, he said he felt Baylor didn't utilize him right, and with more freedom, we could really see what he does. So let's see what he does next year in OKC, and definitely a good pickup for him. Well, and then that's 21 through 30. Second round's coming up. Next, stay tuned. Please join the website www.derbycitysr.com. You know the deal. Subscribe to the channel, get updates, visit daily. Well, see you here in a minute for round 2